Hey everybody, big welcome back to a new adventure. And I say welcome back, this is actually going to be, I don't know, I'm going to call it my first moto vlog, but I know it's going to be long. This is like an hour fucking long or whatever, and I'll tell you what, this is not what was supposed to happen. What I wanted to do was rig up my microphone and moto vlog like a normal moto vlogger. I watch all these channels, and we're gonna I got some exciting news about that after we'll get to. But I watch all these moto vloggers, and I was like, all right, now I got my motorcycle, I got my cool 360x2 whatever fucking camera, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do this. But unfortunately, I was on a time crunch and I couldn't find my microphone, so I ended up just doing the video, and I'm doing a voiceover after. So not quite what I wanted, but I still would encourage you, if you like moto vlogging, just give it a shot, subscribe, and hopefully you'll like some of my shit, because I don't church it up. I say it like it is, and yeah, you're gonna see me out having some fun on the bike. And all right, so let's get to it. I'll tell you right now. So this is in Hamilton, Ontario. Basically, I decided to ride around and show you a little bit of the city. So this is up the mountain. Realistically, I would have cut this section out because it's not an exciting stretch of the city. Compared to some of the places I'm going to take you. We're going to go and we're going to try to check out some street meat, see if we can find some street meat. Then we're going to go through some fancy areas. And yeah, there's a lot to take in and a lot to talk about on this journey. So here we are hitting up Concession. And I'm going to tell you, actually, just whatever, while we're sitting at this fucking red light that you're not allowed to make a right-hand turn on. The bike, you'll notice that it has a high idle, and I'm by no means a mechanic, but I'm pretty fucking handy with shit. So I was able to rebuild the engine. I got videos on it, rebuild top end of the engine, whatever. Rebuild the carb, got all that shit in, but I still haven't dialed in the carb perfectly, so I think it's that idle mixture screw that I had to replace. And anyway, I just haven't adjusted it yet, so I just kind of ride it with high idle. But it's not the idle adjustment screw. There's two things. There's like air fuel screw, and then there's actual idle adjustment. Anyway, it's one of them's wrong. I don't care. Anyway, we're gonna go. Basically, here's where I wanted to start the video in a second, is when we're gonna go down the mountain access. And the reason I wanted to start here, like I said, I was supposed to delete all this, which I don't know, I could have done that in editing anyway, but I wanted to show you where I made a video with my drone about the guy that fucking drove his car off the cliff. So odds are you've never seen this, but you're gonna see what's gonna go. We're gonna go right here. I'm gonna show you, okay? Because now you're gonna, like, when I did my drone video, it was when the car was in the woods and they were trying to do whatever recovery or whatever with the car. As far as I know, the guy survived, and I don't know whatever came with that. Like, if it was like a suicide attempt or an accident, I have no idea. But anyway, well, we don't turn here. We got to go up a little bit. So yeah, anyways, I wanted to show you guys that, and then you kind of get a bit of a view of the city. One thing I'll mention just kind of before we get there is, if you notice things that are kind of like, weird on the view, like my mirror thing missing, it's because it is a 360 camera. And the way I set it up, unfortunately, I forgot to set it on like a 45-degree angle or whatever, like more. I watched another guy's tutorial, and he said set it on an angle so that your cut points kind of go across like in a certain way. It won't affect it as bad. But anyway, so that's just a cut point on the stitching point on the 360 camera. But anyway, I'm all over the place, by the way. So I am going to say that unfortunately it's a little shakier than I had wanted. I think it's just how I mounted the camera. I think what I should really be doing is like mounting it on my chest. It is a 360 camera, so like I went in and edited this in the software, and so this is where the guy drove down, by the way. So he came flying down this is like an access or whatever, and then so right here, if you go straight, you drop off a fucking cliff into the city of Hamilton, and that's what he did. You can kind of see over the edge there. I should have turned the camera. Now it's too late because we're in a different software program. But I'm going to be taking my bike, just so people know. I think I mentioned this in another video, but I will be, when I get some time, going downtown Toronto. I want to go and do like a moto vlog out there and Niagara Falls, and I don't know, we'll do some dirt biking and shit up in the Niagara Trail system. And yeah, I want to have some real fun on this bike. I really want to buy like a better one, which, by the way, while we're cruising, I'll tell you a good scam. Okay, so my old lady, like most people's old ladies, does not like motorcycles. It's a fact of life. That's what happens. A lot of times chicks are like, you ain't getting a bike. And if you want the nanny, you got to listen. But what I did was I made a deal. I'm like, listen, how about I get an enduro? Because she didn't have a problem with dirt biking. I said, it's a street legal dirt bike, but it's a 200cc. It's the slowest thing. Like, it's struggling to hit 100. It's meant for back roads and shit like that. So anyways, we compromised that I would buy a 200cc bike that would go on roads with a speed limit of 80 kilometers or less. And I've kept up my bargain. Now, I have hit 120 on the bike on the 80 roads. See how we've, you know what I mean? That's called a little bit of trickery, because I didn't say I would keep it under 80. I said I would stick to 80 and below roads. But anyway, after that, then, so she got used to me riding the bike now for a couple months. Then took her down to Port Dover to check out the bikes down in Dover. And, what do you know? Now she wants to get a Harley. So, like, for me to get a Harley so she can ride on the back and be my, the term is biker bitch. Anyway, so if you want to get a bike, you might want to try pulling that scam on your old lady. Just be like, listen, I'm just going to get this little 200cc, or even like, whatever, a CBR 125. That's just to get her used to the idea. And then if you're struggling to get her on board with getting a better bike, then you got to pull this one out. Okay, this is a trademark secret. I'm going to give it to you guys. You got to tell her that that like you almost died because someone almost ran into the back of you, and the bike was so underpowered you almost didn't get away, like move forward in time, and like you really got to step the bike up to like a 300 or something, just so that for safety reasons, because if you don't have the pep to take off at the from the stop when someone's skidding to a stop, yeah, that's your life on the line. Fuck. If she loves you, she'll understand and let you get a bit bigger motor. And once you cross that second bike hurdle, you're good. You're golden. You can just get whatever the hell you want at that point. You're welcome in advance, folks. That's how you deal with that. It's in love and relationships, so it's all about compromise. Okay. So what we're going to do, just kind of get you up to speed here. So we came down the access. We're doing this shit. Now we're going to go cruise through downtown Hamilton. And we're going to have a little bit of fun down here. So pretend I didn't cross over the fucking bullhorn there. That's what that's called. This is a panhandle corner. You normally can't get through that intersection without at least 6 fucking panhandlers begging for change. Anyway, let's we'll see. I'm gonna show you guys some shit. Wow, the wide angle makes it look like there's such a big distance between me and the dude in front of me. I don't think it's actually that big of a distance, like in real life. I think it's just the angle I had the camera set on or something. That, or I was being a bitch and I did leave a big gap. But I will say that one of my subscribers had said on one of my videos about wearing all the gear all the time. He is absolutely right. When I went through motorcycle school, they do tell you that you should be wearing full riding gear at all times. So I will address that and say I'm guilty. My only riding gear was my gloves and my helmet. And later on, you're going to see, and I feel like an idiot for this because I think this is the first time I've done it, I was so excited just to get going, I never actually cinched the strap on my helmet. So later on, I got something cool, and this is what I was telling you, there's going to be something we're going to talk about. I don't want to ruin it, because ultimately there's something really cool And some of you might already know what it is, but I don't want to ruin the surprise until we actually get there. But anyway, so at some point I have to turn the camera around, it faces me, and I realize my strap is dangling on the, I don't know if it's going to show maybe on this edit, because like, you know, I had to take the 360 video and edit it to this, but anyway. So right now we're ripping down King Street. It's an alright little strip. You know, it's not a good neighborhood, not a bad neighborhood. It's alright though. It's nothing terrible about it. Downtown in general is okay. I don't, Hamilton's not like a crazy violent city. Like, you know, I know some local people will say it is, but I mean, on a scale of population, it's really not that bad. So it's an alright city, whatever. But anyway, so we're gonna head up here. On the left is gonna be something called Gore Park. I've got some cool drone footage flying up there. Oh, never mind, I hung the right here first. Oh, I know why, because I wanted to check out this alleyway. So I'm like, oh cool, we're gonna go in this alleyway. I was picturing this being a kind of a cool shot. When we go to Toronto, by the way, we're gonna go through, I think it's St. Lawrence Market or whatever. There's the area, or not St. Lawrence Market, there's the area that's all graffitied up. Anyway, it's cool, we're gonna go do that. So anyway, I come looking around here. I wanted to see what was up. And we're gonna do something funny up here. Well, it's funny to me, I don't know, maybe you guys won't find it funny, but you'll see. So I'm sitting here, right, we're at a red light, but I see it's changing green, and I'm like, I could go straight, following the fucking handy dandy van, or perhaps I could make my own adventure, like those books back when, like in the 80s and 90s, they're called Choose Your Own Adventure. So basically I'm getting bored of waiting, right? So I'm looking around and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna choose my own adventure. Okay, so check this out. And this is why I like to have an enduro. So this is like a little homeless encampment, and I decided that we'd come ride through the park and like check it out. Although there wasn't that many people around right now, but I just thought it was funny, and I don't know if I caught it, but the one guy like gave me a thumbs up. Oh, you probably saw the strap dangling there. This is the one guy that was like off to the left there. I think the guy that had the white thing in his hand, he was giving me a thumbs up, but I don't think it made it into the edit. Fuck, I love this bike. Like I said, I wanna get a newer one. So I got, this is a DR200. It's just an old piece of shit, fucking 1990. But obviously I'm out having a great time on it. But what I really want to get is a DRZ 400. So I've been looking online at people like selling them on Facebook and Kijiji, which is like Craigslist up here in Canada for people that don't know what that is. And so I've been checking them out online, like, you know what I mean, roughly $4 grand-ish. Some of them are a little more, like depending obviously on the year. If you want to buy brand new, it's about $9 grand. But the reality of it is that we just bought a house like 2 months ago, or just under 2 months ago, and the house is like a really, really old, crusty piece of shit, and we are sinking a lot of money into it to redoing every inch of electrical, plumbing, the majority of the drywall, all the insulation, like doors, like anyway. So all my money's kind of tied up into that. And being that I'm a pretty shitty YouTuber, I don't have a sponsor, I don't fucking make shit fuck all on YouTube these days. So it's just my work income and my old lady's work income and shit like that. And yeah, so things like the Harley and the new DRZ 400 gotta wait for now. Not to say it's not going to happen. My goal is actually to get the Harley for next summer. And when I say get a Harley, just so people understand, the Harley I get is probably going to be like early to mid 2000s, something like $7,000. I've been looking, and for basically $7 grand, you can get like a Street Glide, whatever, with the, you know, with a 2-up seat. So it's not going to be like anything too crazy. Oh, this dude was funny right here. So I'm actually, you're not going to get to see it, unfortunately. When I take off from the light after, there's going to be a, I do like a little wheelie, and I don't know how to wheelie, okay? When it comes to riding the bike, I'm a bit of a bitch, but this guy's like, I want to race, but Unfortunately, you guys can't hear it.
On three.
On 3, yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. So I try to get him into it. It's funny anyway. It's cool. So here's the funny thing about this. Okay, so let's just watch how this plays out. But I'm gonna tell you later on, like the guy, he's on a fucking e-bike and he ends up like ahead of me down the road because of traffic. So who was laughing then? And look at me riding around with my signal on like a noob. Yeah, so you can't really tell, but the front wheel actually lifted like 6 inches off the ground there. Which for me was pretty cool because I don't actually know how to do a wheelie. I basically got to go try to find somewhere safe to learn it because I really do want to wheelie through town. And hopefully I can learn to do it with one hand so I can give a finger to like to whoever's behind me, because I watch this on some of these bike channels, and to me that just seems like a good way to roll when you're ripping through town. Alright, so we're cruising along. I should have just fucking punched that red, but anyway, I didn't. This is another homeless corner right here. Hamilton has a lot of homeless fucks, and I'm not trying to knock them. I'm just saying it is what it is. If you can walk around begging for change all day, you can probably go deliver newspapers or some shit. And I feel like a prick saying that. I used to actually be a really nice guy, and I used to stop and give change at the light, like, so often. I used to drive around with a case of water, giving out water. And then, I don't know, in life I just kind of started changing eventually. And it's not like I hate them or anything like that. I just think, like, you felt good about yourself when you gave one some money back years ago, but now it's almost every intersection in Hamilton has some fucking homeless dude standing there begging for change with some bullshit sign, trying to find work, and everybody's fucking hiring. You ain't looking for work. If you're looking for work, look, there's one right there. Every fucking business is hiring. There's no shortage of work. And so kind of my sympathy went out the window. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd still feel bad for, like, a fucking single parent that, lost their job and couldn't afford the rent, some shit went down. But to me, when I see a young, able-bodied male and he's standing there all day like that, I'm just like, fuck it, man. Ain't nobody feel bad for me. I gotta wake up and work some fucking dirty jobs to make my money. Anyway, that's enough about that. And I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying I don't really care. Oh yeah, look, there's fucking homie in front of me. And then I fucking gun it. He was cool. I'll tell you one thing though, Hamilton is like fucking e-bike city. Man, like there's got to be at least like 5,000 of these things ripping around. They even made a special strip called E-Bike Highway, which runs across the city on Cannon. And like if you sit over there and you just watch, like I used to live over there, and like all day long, e-bike, and they just use it to whip across town. Okay, so now we are on, what's this, Queen Street. And we're going to go sidetrack. I wanted to show you guys Lock Street up here, which is kind of a nice little spot. I guess one thing I didn't really think about was that with the camera I'm using versus like a GoPro. Say you stick a GoPro on your helmet, you can kind of look around and then you talk about, while your mic's on, and talk about whatever you're looking at. But with this, when I'm riding around, it records everything. So then I've actually got to go back into the editing software for the camera first, which is a separate software, and I got to set the angles and all that shit because apparently this program I'm using doesn't do it. And then I got to edit like that first, which takes hours, by the way, for this footage. For this hour and 8 minutes or whatever, it took like 3 or 4 hours to process, just to get it to this point. But anyway, the point was, whoopsie, went up on the sidewalk. That was on purpose. And then I wanted to go over that bridge, but I didn't. But anyway, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, so like the problem with this way is let's just say right now I was riding down this street and I saw something cool. Say that bridge. You guys didn't see my head actually turned towards the bridge. But because this is a 360 camera on a mount, and I've just got this fucking facing whatever way, you guys missed out on that. Actually, speaking about that, I will apologize right now because I can see that my edit on this was actually kind of shitty. The camera is not set straight. I'm still kind of learning the software, the ins and outs of it. There's something called orientation lock or direction lock or something like that would have kept this centered in the middle more. But I think I fucked that up, or I turned the camera, I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm going to adjust the camera better after anyway, so. Like I said, this is Lock Street. This is kind of like, a fancy little neighborhood here. Westtown, gone there a bunch of times. That's a nice place. And then right up here, there's something called Donut Monster. I've never been there, but I hear a lot of people say it's good. So probably is. I think it's right up at this corner right here. Yeah. Anyway, so now I'm going to be taking you to a little bit nicer of a neighborhood. Over here, like you got some of these homes will be like multi-millions of dollars and shit. I really should adjust that carb though. It is kind of annoying that the fucking bike idles so high, but it's not. Well, I got a minute till we get to the neighborhood. It's not the big screw. Like there's one that you can use your thumb to turn to bring the idle down. It's not that one, because if you turn that one down, it'll bog and stall out. It's the air fuel screw or some shit. So I'm pretty sure. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of. And then after doing I changed the valves and the valve seals, but I never adjusted the valves after I was done. So I probably should do that too. That might be, it's got like a little bit of engine noise, but it might be slapping of the valves or something. I don't know. But there's no smoke coming out the back. Like it runs strong and there's no smoke. So fuck it. Where are we here? We're only 22 minutes into this. I should have done some fast forwarding, edited shit out, but then like the problem is that now I don't know. I don't even know what I wanted to edit out. So anyway, once we get up here, you guys can check out. And there's actually nicer, even like some nicer streets too. Not yet. We're not in the spot yet, but where I could have went and showed you guys actually. But yeah, fuck. It was such a nice day to get out and ride. I am really looking forward to this. Like to this summer, to actually getting out and enjoying it. One little thing I'll tell you that from the motorcycle handbook. So you saw that I just went through a green light. In the motorcycle handbook and testing, they say that they want you to actually slow down. Yeah, look at that house. That's a fucking house, and it's for sale too. That big first one I showed you there. But when you're approaching a green light intersection, they want you to slow down and check the intersection to see if it's clear. And I get it, you know what I mean? You definitely should scan around. But I'm thinking, as you're approaching a green light intersection, if you got someone behind you and they're not paying the greatest of attention and you go to slow down, you're just gonna get fucking smashed from behind. Fucking, yeah, I don't think I'm interested. There's another nice house, kind of like a castle. Hamilton has like a really interesting history because there's some spots in this city that are like complete shit, like run to the ground and like just shit. And then there's some spots that are just like so beautiful, and like the houses are like, a lot of these old big houses have been converted into like apartments and shit now, but a lot of these huge homes were all single family homes, like I don't know, like 10-bedroom homes and shit. So it was like in a big industrial city. I don't know much about the history of it, but like look at that place on the right hand side there. Like I'm quite certain that would have at one point been a full home for somebody. And like there's actually a row of them if you turn right at this light. Yeah, fucking red lights. I'll tell you one guy I watched that I gotta go and catch up on, because I haven't watched his videos in a bit, was Baker X Derek. He drives, I found his videos, and I've mentioned this before in another video, so I'm just gonna give him a shout out because he drives a DR200, but he's got several other motorcycles as well. But that's how I found his channel, was from, he did like a engine rebuild tutorial video that I was watching. And then I realized that he does like motovlogging, and then he was pretty funny. And so anyways, I've been watching since. But now, after moving and shit, I haven't had much time watching on YouTube. So I've been kind of like, I go to work all day and then work on the house and shit in the evenings, or go for a ride on the bike or whatever. But anyway, I'll tell you, oh yeah, in other news, my son, the lazy little prick he is, he still doesn't have his bike license, but took him like 2 weeks ago to buy a bike. So he bought a Yamaha XT200, just a starter bike, because he's going to go and get his M1 and then go to the motorcycle school like me. So the bike's in really nice condition. It's a nicer looking bike actually than mine, and it was only $1,200, but it had the kickstart spring snapped in it. So today I ordered him a new one, and we're gonna hopefully get that all fixed up. Like, you can bump start the bike, but yeah, we got to get the Kickstarter fixed, and so hopefully one day he'll actually get off his ass, get his license, and then we'll be able to go ripping together. All right. So, this is this fucking ambulance. So, like, I wanted to whip around the ambulance right here, go to the right, but this car was there. So you guys can't, the angle we're on, you couldn't see it, but I could see that there was cars there. I couldn't get around them, because now he basically fucks up my view for this whole trip down this road. And then I was like tempted just to pull over, because now we're just looking at the ass of an ambulance. I got some cool drone footage of this church here up on the left. I've flown that before. That's pretty cool. I did want to drive. See this thing on the construction shit on there? I was tempted to pull my bike in there and ride through it, because I thought that would be funny. That's the thing about having the Enduro. Like, I'm going to be able to go and just do all kinds of stupid adventures. Probably going to ride through some parks. Like, I was tempted to ride through Gage Park in Hamilton here. It's this big park. It's like kind of like New York Central Park, but like the Hamilton version, so like with more crackheads, and piss. There's lots of piss in the park. But yeah, I was tempted to go for a rip through there, but I may have to do that at like 6 in the morning. And then when I say me, I don't mean me, because I personally would not do something like illegal like that and then film it and then upload it on the internet. But I got my buddy Homeless Tony, who he's got actually like basically the exact same bike as me. And Tony, just for future reference, I'd like to mention, Tony's a bit of a follower. So he actually had gone out, I believe he went to the exact same tattoo place as me, and had them do the same tattoos on his arm. So Tony was saying to me that he was going to go and ride his bike, which is the same as mine, and he'll probably do some silly shit on his bike and then give me the footage. This is the same Tony that flew his DJI Mini up to 500 meters. Same guy. So he's a cool guy, but I just wanted to make sure that we clear that up so no one confuses me with Tony. And hey Tony, what are you doing today? And he's like, some illegal shit. And I'm like, attaboy, Tony. Alright, fuck off, ambulance. Like, you're ruining our view of everything. There's actually up here, when we finally get around up here, like, you're gonna see, oh my god, I'm sitting here watching on my computer. I'll tell you, I fucking hate traffic. I'm sitting here watching this damn ambulance right now, and I'm like, fuck, come on, man. I need a faster bike so I could zip across the fucking yellow line and just go around them. But anyway, I was gonna say, there's like a motorcycle cafe up here, that I never been to, but I'll tell you what, you can, because they don't seem to discriminate. Like, I see all kinds of bikes there. I see sport bikes, Harleys, I've seen enduros, adventure bikes, classic bikes, like fucking like old army bikes, and it's just kind of cool seeing that, you know, places that don't discriminate. Actually, while we're talking about discrimination, so when I went to Port Dover on my bike, I thought it was like funny as fuck. So I'm riding through all these nice, oh, that was weird. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I guess it was just going one clip to the other. But anyways, so riding through Port Dover, and it's like all these big, beautiful, like Harleys and sport bikes, and anyway, you name it, it's all there, custom shit. And then I'm rolling through on my old fucking booter Enduro, and like I don't think you guys are ever gonna get to see a clip of my bike from the side. Oh, maybe actually there might be a point where you do, with that surprise thing I was telling you about. But anyway, my bike is covered in mud. Like I don't fucking wash it. I go off roading and it lives covered in mud. I don't give a fuck. And so anyway, I'm riding through there, all these beautiful bikes, everyone's proud of their shit, and anyway, that's all I'm saying. It's just that it was a muddy ass fucking bike. Loaded pierogi, they were good, but now I'm hearing bad things. It's a place over there. I'm hearing some people saying that new owners and they changed shit. It's not that good anymore. So yeah, we're gonna sit here, we're ready to make the right. Let homie and his fucking dog go by. Oh yeah, you can't turn right on a red here. I'm a good boy. I signal my turns most of the time. I try anyway. I got this bike mount on Amazon. Really happy about that for the phone. Yeah, so right over here. So you'll see. I think there's a bike there. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's called Steel Town Garage. I haven't gone there yet, but you know, like I say, it's only a 200, but I mean, like the takeoff on the bike's not terrible, right? You can see, you can fucking get up and go. But I still want a DRZ 400 because it just seems like I could take off a lot faster. That's it. There's no other real reason. Like, you know, it's just as capable as this. This is actually probably a better trail bike because it's kind of lightweight and easy to maneuver. But whatever. So this is Barton Street. First of all, we're just passing the Barton Street jail. I used to live there a long time ago, actually. Sup, neighbors? Because it's a jail, not a prison, I don't imagine anyone that's still there from, like, I was there, 96, 95, 96. So, yeah, nobody would be there anymore. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, Barton Street. This is where you come and get some street meat. If you want a methed out, clapped out hooker, this is the road you want to get her on. Well, this and also I guess King Street too, because sometimes they do that. One time I put a video on YouTube and it wasn't my video, it was a video from like my old neighbor or something. And anyway, it was like a hooker giving like a fucking 90-year-old man a hand job in a doorway of a shuttered business. And so I thought that was funny and I put it on YouTube, but I got a content strike. Like that shit was immediately fucked and they took it down, and anyway, that sucked. Alright, so let's go ripping. Strangely enough, I don't think there was any hookers out, which is a shame. But they do have a new business up here. I've seen they've got some kind of hooker outreach center that they were setting up. I think right while I was riding by or something, they were putting like the graphics on the windows or some shit. So yeah, good for them. That means the hookers can hang out. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, over here on the right, I don't know, this is like a really long renovation project for this church or something. Like fucking this construction shit's been going on here for like at least 5 years, 6 years now. And so far they've managed to build like part of a foundation and that's about it. I'm going to give a shout out. We're not quite there yet, but to any of my local people that have ever thought about going to Mikey's Cream Pie, yep, Mikey's Cream Pie is fucking delicious. So that's right up here on Barton. You may want to check that out. I didn't go to on this adventure ride. We never went down to the industrial area. I do want to do that because like there's some cool shit. Like I'd already planned that for another video one day. I want to go take you guys down to that was my buddy. I was honking my homie. You're gonna see his fucking truck. Down to the industrial area anyway, and there's a warship down there, and now they're doing like, you know, new filming down there, all kinds of shit. So anyway, Oh yeah, so my buddy here is gonna fucking pull up and say hi. This is my buddy T-Dog, Tyler. Fuck, his truck is awesome. I love it. Let's see, does he catch up at this light? I think he did. Is this light or the next light? He's got the F350 Tremor. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I would've, again, it's like a gray or some shit. I personally probably would've went all blacked out, but, fuck, I love that truck though. Yeah. So, you guys tell me in the comments, you guys, if you're watching and you've actually watched this long of this fucked up vlog, do you have a bike? Do you want a bike? Are you thinking about getting a bike? Are you scared of bikes? Tell me, like, if you're actually sitting there watching this much of the shit, you must have at least some interest in a bike, because you can't be watching this just for my fucking annoying, vlogging or whatever the fuck you call it. Or maybe you can. This here was a closed down school called the Gibson School or whatever, and they're turning it into like, I think like kind of like luxury rental apartments or some shit, so that's kind of cool to see. I like seeing buildings repurposed. This is me, I keep having to check my time because basically I was supposed to go like pick my old lady up from her fucking hair appointment. So I just wanted to check my time, see how much time we had to go and play. Yeah, fucking ripping through town on the bike is fun. I don't know. I guess I don't even know. What do I prefer, the country road rips or through the town? Right? It really depends, because taking off and zipping in and out and all that shit is super fun. But then at the same time, when I was on my way down to Dover and you just fucking had that throttle cracked. Ah, fuck! I got a dry throat, guys. Sorry. I gotta take a sip of water. Yeah. The fucking dust from working on the house. I took in too much dust. Anyway, yeah, like I enjoy the country ride, but ripping through town and like say when I go to Toronto and I'm gonna hit up more like alleyways and shit like that. Even in Hamilton, like I wanna do it properly with the proper microphone, because there's all kinds of alleyways in Hamilton, like through back and behind people's yards. There's plenty of shit to see and do. We just got to do it. Also, I would like to point out that at no point did I go over the speed limit in this video. So objects on YouTube appear faster than they really are. So if it looks like I was ending up going like 80 through town in a 50, I wasn't. Just want to make sure people know that's, you know what I mean, accurate. But yeah, the fucking guy, see what he did there? Fucking prick. Yeah. Fuck, I love watching this. It's kind of a cool view, actually, watching fucking zipping by everybody like this. Yeah, like, so then part of me now, like, I'm thinking that I need 3 bikes. So I need my Enduro, because, you know, I want to be able to do some fucking urban exploration and off-roading. But then I also want a sport bike, because maybe I want to fly down the highway at like 260 kilometers an hour one time, just for the fun of it. But then I need my Harley, because when it's time to go down to Port Dover for Friday the 13th, or back down to Miami Daytona for Bike Week. If you're into bikes, you can see I've got actually like a lot of drive-through and overhead, like drone footage going through Daytona. Fucking yeah, I've been loving bikes for years. I only just recently got one, so I'm really happy about that. Also, I guess at that point I will say I'll give a fucking condolences, though. I guess on the way to Port Dover or whatever, we did lose one biker that went down. I think there's a few accidents, but only one died. But one is one too many, so I guess you really got to pay attention. I will tell you, so maybe you guys watch and you think, oh, I'm driving like a dick or whatever. I am scanning around and paying a lot of attention when I'm riding. I think as a new rider on the road, I'm probably paying more attention than most bikers do. Like, I really am, you know, trying to go, you know, carefully. Well, speeding a tiny little bit, but so this is like Pot Shop Alley along Barton here. Basically, there's like fucking 12 pot shops within like a 2-block radius or some shit, which, you know, I'm really glad that they made pot legal. Not that I'm really all that much into it anyway. I don't really care. Because if I wanted to smoke pot, I didn't really give a shit anyway. If it was legal or not, but ultimately I think it's starting to get a little bit tacky with so many pot shops. Also, I will say that it's disappointing that Melt up here, there used to be a place called, or not Melt, that was Melt I just passed, Gorilla Cheese was up here, and they closed down. Apparently they still have a food truck, but yeah, I miss good old Gorilla Cheese. That was a good place. It was like Melt, which is okay, but I preferred the Gorilla Cheese. That's a grilled cheese restaurant. I'll tell you guys an idea, and I'm only going to tell you this because odds are it's never going to happen for me anyway. But I really did want to open up a restaurant, so somebody will probably steal my idea, and then I'll sue you. But I wanted to call it the Chili Willy, and the idea is that it's a chili restaurant. And basically, here's how I picture this. I picture, basically, you're going to have several variations of chili. You know, like, you're going to have, you know, regular mild, regular hot, dynamite hot, vegan. Then I had other, like, you know, you're going to, like, so people can come in and buy chili, whatever, with, like, garlic toast, Texas toast. And then my own creation, which was chili pizza, and then chili tarts, where it's kind of like a tart, but it's got like chili with cheese in it, and a tart, like, yeah, I don't know if you know what I mean, like a meat pie, but with chili, kind of, but there's no shell on top. So anyways, I come up with all these fucking ideas and call it the Chili Willy, chili dogs, and then get this though, so at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't know how long you're, because at home, like, chili is good for a couple days. It's actually better the second day. But anyway, so after, you know, 72 hours, whatever it is, when the chili is no longer what you would consider fresh, the idea was that you would put it into freezable metal trays or whatever, and people can buy frozen chili to take home. And then they just put it in the oven to heat it back up. Or that, or you could give some to, like, the homeless shelters, whatever. But ultimately the idea was that it was, like, you know, with very little to no waste was how I was planning the business. But I don't, yeah, I'm not actually much of a cook. Well, I make chili. I make a good chili. But I mean, I'm not like a chef. I never worked in a restaurant. Odds are I'm never going to get around to doing it. So, yeah. Fuck, coughing again. Fucking, this serves me right because basically I didn't use a mask. I was pulling down plaster and lath, and then it's like all blown in insulation. We're changing the insulation out. And yeah, it's my own bad. I fucking should have known better. I've got my respirator mask hanging right there on the drywall lift, and I just never put it on, and so that dust gets down in your fucking lungs and your throat and your sinuses, and it makes for a rough day. Hopefully I learned my lesson. Probably not, but all right. So now, just so you know, back to the bike topic at hand here. We are going this way, which is going to bring us back up the mountain, and we're going to get into that little exciting story I told you about very, very soon. We're working our way up there. Okay. So, by the way, I want to say that this is a roundabout right here. One day I want to hover my drone in the center of it, like high enough up that I capture the whole thing in the frame and do a time lapse of all the cars driving around it. I just think that would be cool. I've never done that shot. I know a lot of other people have already, but whatever. I want to do it. Also, I want to fly my drone over this thing on the left. If you're from Hamilton, you know, you look at this thing all the time and, like, I don't know what the fuck's above it. I've never taken the time to look on Google Maps or try to figure it out. Basically, it's some kind of something that they're always working on up in there. Anyway, I kind of want to see what they're doing. Oh yeah, fuck, I think I took these corners up here pretty quick. I hope so, because I like it when you see the bike on an angle like this versus a GoPro. Like, so because it stabilizes it, it's cool, like when you see the bike angle but the camera footage stays straight. I love that. But let's see. So I'm fucking just ripping along here, enjoying life. Let's see, did I slow down like a bitch, or did I give it? Oh, come on, speed up, don't be a bitch. Nah, I didn't fucking angle it as much as I wanted to. Oh yeah, I remember up here though, because there's basically the one bike, or the one car was flying, and so I was trying to race him, but ultimately the bike is slow. You can't race. Like, I could race an e-bike and beat him, but that's about it. But this guy did what I've wanted to do for so long, so I probably did the exact same thing as him. Just watch. I'm not admitting it, but the footage speaks for itself. Watch this. Because when I'm driving here and I want to go this way, I'm like, fuck, I just want to fucking, like, when I see there's nobody else around, check this out. Trademark move. He just did it. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to cut through here. I don't think. Maybe you are. I don't. Maybe there is crosshatch there. I always thought you couldn't. That you had to go around the loop and then make the left. Or the right, sorry. But anyway, crossing through that makes it funner. Okay. So, we're coming around to where my other story is going to begin. And so basically this area is called like Mountain Brow or some shit. Basically got a bunch of fancy houses on the cliff that overlook like Hamilton and Stony Creek and the Red Hill Valley or whatever. So I'm coming along, minding my business, and yeah, we'll see. So it's coming up. So I'm driving along right up here, and then out of my peripheral visions, I see something, and I'm like, whoa, I better pull over and check that out, because yeah. So this is what the footage that ended up getting used. So there's several channels: Moto Madness, Dirt Bike Lunatic, and then some smaller channels. But even like with 100,000 subscribers and shit, Moto Madness has like 4.6 million subscribers, and Dirt Bike Lunatic has like 2 million. Anyway, these guys all hit me up to use this footage, and you're like, what footage? What are we doing? Okay, so let's unscrew the selfie stick. It's kind of funny how that looks when you do that, but anyway, and let's go see what was I up to. I saw this motherfucker right here hanging out, and I was like, oh, that is not a good hangout spot. And so now I want to put him away. But I know what most people are thinking, like, you know, you're supposed to put the turtle the way he was heading, but ultimately, if I put him the other way, I don't even know where the fuck this turtle goes. There's no water up here. So like part of me thought to stick him in my pocket and take him down the road, because there's a river and everything down the road. But ultimately, if he went across the road, like, he was better to go to the side I put him on than the other side where the houses were. But yeah, so that's where I saw my strap. You know, I was saying about my strap earlier, and I was like, holy fuck, I didn't fucking do that up. Actually, I think I realized it when I got off the bike. Yeah, anyway, I didn't cinch it and then do the little snap. So hopefully I learned, because that's actually dangerous. You know, I know that I should be wearing all my gear and all that shit, but not tightening the helmet is even more dangerous, because ultimately all your gear does is save you from road rash. It won't actually save your life, but your fucking helmet, that saves your life. And as much as I think it looks cool down in Florida, like, you know, everyone riding around with no helmet on, I think even when I go to Florida, and I will be taking a bike to Florida, I'll probably still wear a helmet, because that's one thing I do agree with. Even though they're not necessarily the most comfortable thing. Alright. So anyways, now we're going to do a little more cruising here. I gotta tell you guys, I'm loving these gloves. You've been watching these gloves in my videos, if you've been watching any of my stupid vlogs. These gloves are just Amazon gloves. I can drop a link if somebody wants to know where I got them. I'll tell you, I bought extra large. You know, I'm not a huge guy, but I'm 6'2". 200 and, I don't know, fucking 230 pounds or something. So I got pretty big hands. Bought extra large, and when I first got them, the day I got them, I was like, fuck, they're a little bit stiff. Like tight, they're not, that comfortable. But I mean, wearing them for a couple of rides, they wore right in, and they are super comfortable. I'm so glad I bought them. They were like, I don't know, 60 or 70 bucks Canadian. And in my opinion, well fucking worth it. I've been, I don't ride without them. Yeah, they're fantastic. And then I'm bad at returning shit, so I still got my fucking brand new Amazon helmet that I never returned sitting in the garage. That sucks. Because that was like, I don't know, 150 or 160 bucks or something. I bought it, and like I bought extra large, and the fucking thing doesn't fit. It's just too tight. It fits, I can get it on, but it's just too tight. So I don't wear it. I just wear this, the dirt bike helmet, which is DOT approved, so it's all good. I can wear it out on the street anyway with my goggles. Basically, what else? Oh, up here, so this is where up here, well, I'll tell you where the water was. This is where I was saying I could have brought that fucking turtle. Not quite yet. We gotta go left here and around a bend and all that shit. But ultimately, I wanted to pull the bike in and take the selfie stick thing off, and then extend it, and then show you guys a cool view over a cliff, and there's waterfall and all that. But I'm going to slow down on the approach to it, but there's a bunch of people there, and I didn't want to look like a retard, waving around my camera on a stick, and I don't know, I probably should have, though. It's not like that embarrassing, because they can't see your face and you're wearing a fucking motorcycle helmet, but, I don't know, I thought it was kind of weird. Also, over here, like, there's some, like, spots where I was looking, and I was like, fuck, I could go off-roading here, but I didn't. Maybe one day. Yeah, it's a kind of a nice mountain browse, a nice ride out here. Fuck, I love getting out and riding this bike, man. I can't believe it took me so long to get a bike license. But damn, am I ever glad I finally did it. And if the bike is what finally does me in one day, I guess, you know what, people will say, well, he died doing what he wanted to do, and that's I think how a lot of people with bikes feel, like, you know what I mean, you don't want to die, but at the same time, if you die doing what you love, hey, it is what it is. I'll try to drive safe, though. Safe and fun, though. There's got to be a good mix of the two, right? If you drive too safe, then you're probably not having that much fun. So that wasn't the parking lot. That's just a regular parking lot. But up here, the next parking lot up on the left is where I wanted to do the fucking footage. Once again, this is another thing I have drone footage of. I've got so many drone videos here. So, by the way, when people wonder, like, if a lot of people, my subscribers, are from, like, my drone videos, and then I don't really upload that many of them, but it's because I don't want to fly, like, repeatedly in the same spots that I've already done, like, several times, because it's just not that exciting, right? If I've already done it a bunch of times, it's like, why do the same spots over and over and over again? Yeah, that was good. Like, a good lean on the bike there. That's what I like, a good lean on the bike. And I'm running on tires. They're called Twin Duro. I think they're 60-40, so 60% mud and 40% street, but street legal, DOT approved. The only shitty thing is that doing, like, high-speed fucking rips on the roads like this is going to wear down the nubs on the tires, I think. So I'd really like to get a second set of wheels. So if I get I don't know if I'll do it on this bike, but if I get a DRC 400, I'll probably keep, like, a set of the Twin Duro for if I'm going somewhere purposely to go on the trail. And then have, like, Supermoto tires, which is, like, when you put sport bike tires on a dirt bike, so that you can ride around, like, say if I wanted to take the bike all the way out to Toronto, then yeah, anyway, because then you're not killing your mud tires on the hot asphalt, right? Up here, I kind of heard, and because I think the clutch is actually going on the bike, and I don't know for sure, but sometimes it makes a noise when I'm engaging the clutch, and then like it seems like it's doing a bit more of a click into the gears instead of a smooth. So I think I'm gonna have to. I gotta do an oil change anyway, so I think I'm gonna pop the cover off and check the clutch plates. It's not a hard thing to change the clutch on a bike, and it's not very expensive. So it might be that, or I might just need to adjust the clutch cable. So anyways, up here I'm going to pull over just to quickly take a peek at that. And yeah, fucking more high-speed cruising. Unfortunately, I don't even know how fast we're going. I say high-speed, it's not high-speed. We're going probably like 70 or something. Fuck, I got to come up with some cool spots to go. So if you guys are local to the area and you know somewhere and you're like, oh fuck bro, you should take your bike here, by all means drop that in the comments, because I can't guarantee I can go everywhere, but I mean, like, if you know somewhere cool that I should be checking out, leave it in the comments and I'll go online, you know, Google it, whatever, check out the spot, and then you know, hopefully find my way out to some of these spots, because yeah, other than Toronto and Niagara Falls, I'm like, where the fuck else can I go? Keeping in mind, like, this is not a highway bike, so when I want to go to Toronto, I legit got to go the fucking back way, like take Lakeshore the whole way, because I hit 120 on this bike on Highway 6, but that's the bike screaming, like, it's not happy about it. So it's not made for it. Basically, I don't want to really take the bike much above, like, say 90 kilometers an hour. Yeah, so here I just kind of taking a look. I'm like, is everything okay? Just but everything seems fine, so I continue my ride. You'll see. We get back at it. Yeah, it's just I wanted to take a look. I was like, you know, like, is it something fucked up? Oh, good, you guys can look in my armpit or some shit. But no, I'm just like, fuck it. Well, if it falls apart, it falls apart. I think I mentioned in another video, I'm one of those people that I sit there kind of fucking get paranoid. Like, the bike has like a bit of a high speed shake when you're doing like the 90, 100 range, somewhere around there, maybe 80 and above. And I guess it's for a couple reasons. One, because the tires are really knobby for one. And then the other thing is that the back wheel is missing a couple of spokes, and the front wheel's got like a little tiny bend in it. It's not that bad, but so ultimately the wheels basically suck, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, between that, like going on the highway with it doing that, and it vibrates, so then I keep checking like the axle bolts, the castle nuts, to make sure the cotter pins are still in and shit. And here I was looking, I should have went up the curb and went and checked out these old houses. These are old, like, tobacco huts, I think, or something, from many years ago. I don't know if they're heritage sites or what, but or houses, I don't know what the fuck they are, but anyway, yeah, I was saying at high speed, like, sometimes I get paranoid that something's wrong with the bike. So when I went down to Port Dover, on the way back, I could hear a noise, and I've got a video to do, and I don't know if anyone's going to want to watch it anyway. Same as this, a bit longer of a video, and I got to do like the edits to put it up. But anyway, so I could hear a noise, and I was like, is that from my bike or like the fucking Harley in front of me or whatever? So eventually I was like, I pulled down some side road, and then the noise went away, and I was like, fuck yeah, it's not mine. But sometimes I'm like that. Even in my truck, I'll be driving my truck, and then I smell something, and smell like, you know, burning electrical or burning belt or something. So I'll pull over and check, and it's never anything to do with me, but it's just paranoia. Yeah, so fucking now, basically, based on the time I was heading to go pick up my old lady, what I did was just I put the bike on my bike carrier, because of having to drop her off at the mall and shit, and I had shit to do in the afternoon. So basically I wasn't going to have time to drop her off, then go home, get my bike. She won't get on the back of this bike. It's not going to happen. So I put the bike on the truck. I brought the truck so that I could, while she was doing her hair and shit, I could fucking go for a rip. And that actually worked out really well. So, yeah, we're just heading back over to Lime Ridge, which is kind of cool because then you guys are going to get a little, I don't know, maybe it doesn't really show, probably didn't, a little clip of where the motorcycle school that I went to, which learning curves, and yeah, like I give them 5 stars, and I can't recommend enough. If you're thinking about getting a motorcycle license and you go and you do your first part here in Ontario, at least your M1 costs you $25, takes about 20 minutes to do a test, pretty easy. Then pay and go to motorcycle school because it's gonna drop your insurance big time. Not only that, they teach you some shit, and you know, when it comes to safety on a bike, I don't really think you can learn too much, right? Like it's good to know what's up. Here I bitched out. I was gonna get on the highway to go and get off at the ramp for the mall, but I was like, fuck. Nah, just go through town because I was still a little bit paranoid from like when I thought I heard a noise on the bike. So I don't know. It is what it is. This is an old clunker of a bike too, right? Remember that. Yeah, I gotta watch fucking, one thing I keep forgetting is that you could still get a ticket. Like if you use your phone while you're riding or driving in Ontario here, you get like a fucking ticket and shit, like a big ticket and points and shit. So I gotta remember to not touch my phone even at a traffic light. You are allowed to touch your phone if it's mounted to a holder to answer or hang up a call, like just one tap of the screen. But you can't like go through and like, you know, but maybe just looking at the clock. That's all I'm doing is I'm hitting it to look at the clock. Maybe they wouldn't care, but I gotta watch that though. But I don't do any fucking around with it obviously while I'm actually riding it. That would probably not be a smart idea. Yeah, fuck. We're just gonna make our way back to the parking lot here, and that's gonna wrap up this video. I don't know that anyone will actually sit and watch this full fucking long ass video, because I personally, there's my YouTubers that I really like, when they put up like an hour long video or whatever, like Nomadic Fanatic, fucking, I'm like, god damn it, man, because I can't invest an hour. Fucking, it's hard for me to have an hour to sit and fucking watch a video. I'm really busy in life. So I get it. If nobody actually watches this, it's cool. I get it. It doesn't matter. I went out there. I had fun riding my bike. This is not the format that I wanted to. So I'm either going to find my microphone or I'm going to buy another one. And I want to try to do like 20-minute tops videos. To me, 10 to 20 minutes is kind of like an ideal amount of time for a moto vlog. When I watched them, and I watched like Baker, and there's a few other people that I watched too, that seems to be about an approximate enjoyable amount of time where you can sit back and say, oh, okay, yeah, I can spend 20 minutes quickly watching this video. You guys are more than welcome to leave it in the comments. Tell me if you agree with that. If you think 20 minutes is good, or do you think that, you know, an hour is fucking good? Maybe some people think, grab a bag of popcorn and a couple of beers and sit back and watch. But yeah, it doesn't really matter to me, although this whole fucking like 4 hours to do the first part of the editing, then I gotta move it to another program because the Insta360 1X app doesn't have, like, there's no way to do the voiceover. Sorry, coughing again here. The what is it? It's got a microphone input. So yeah, it's see, because I've got this microphone I have right now, and then I have the USB input thing that goes onto the Osmo. But or not the Osmo, to it was for my Osmo, but it would work for the Insta360. But anyway, fuck it. I think I'm better off just getting. I also have what I bought, a audio recorder that you just plug a 3.5 mil headphone jack thing into. So I might just use one of that, record the audio separate, and then line them up. But then I'm fucking worried about the bit rate. I tried that years ago with some shit, and I remember the audio recorded somehow different time than the video. It doesn't make sense, I know, because you lay it over and I don't know if you know this, but that's what a clapboard for, when you've seen the movies and they have that thing and they go, action, and they snap the thing. That's so that you can line up your audio and video, right? So when that thing cracks, it's a cracker or whatever it is, that's what that's for. So if I wanted to record with a different device, so not on the camera, but like, so it might be easier to record separately, then basically right when you're starting, and you edit it out of the video, but you clap your hand. And so that way when you watch the video, when you're editing software, you can be like, okay, there's the clap, that's when the hand made contact, and then you line up the sound of the clap with that, and that's pretty much going to mark you right on where you got to go, because I don't have a fucking action thing, nor am I going to ride around with one. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, I'm just letting you know. So this is the back of Lime Ridge, which is like Hamilton's largest mall. It's not too bad, it's an alright mall, but anyway, fuck yeah, so I had a good rip around there, and yeah, I guess there's no point in ending the video yet. Might as well let you follow all the way until I get over to where my truck is, and I fucking shut her down. The good news is this camera's easy. It's got a nice big button for you to press to be able to it's one button, like record and stop. So you don't even have to hit the power or anything like that. You just press record. You see there, I was almost going to go up the curb and ride on that grass. I flinched. I was really, really tempted. I was like, fuck. I got to start doing stuff like that because it's funny, right? Yeah, so was it like straight ahead of me to the left is the bike school, but I don't think you guys are going to get to see it. So anyway, after I was done riding around, my old lady was still not done yet, so I pulled over and just sat and watched the bike school for a bit, watched how they were doing, and yeah.